What happens when an exceptionally clever, battle-hardened Greek king spends an entire decade fighting a brutal war in Troy, only to spend another agonizing decade lost on a terrifying, monster-infested ocean, while desperately trying to return home to his fiercely loyal wife and his collapsing kingdom? In the Odyssey, the timeless and monumental epic masterpiece attributed to the ancient Greek poet Homer, listeners are swept into the definitive, foundational adventure narrative of Western literature, packed with divine wrath, high-stakes cunning, and unforgettable mythical terrors. The narrative follows Odysseus, the legendary King of Ithaca, whose brilliant mind engineered the iconic Trojan horse, but whose tragic hubris and blinding arrogance incur the absolute merciless fury of Poseidon, the god of the sea. Stranded across treacherous waters with his increasingly desperate crew, Odysseus must navigate a horrific gauntlet of mythological obstacles, from the blinding of the flesh-eating Cyclops Polyphemus and the intoxicating traps of the Lotus Eaters, to the terrifying ship-destroying twin monsters Scylla and Charybdis, and the seductive immortal enchantments of the goddess Circe and the nymph Calypso, who holds him captive for 7 long years. Meanwhile, back on the sun-bleached shores of Ithaca, his brilliant and fiercely resilient Queen Penelope is fighting her own desperate war of survival, deploying her own extraordinary wit to delay a hostile, greedy horde of over 100 aggressive suitors who have overrun her palace, slaughtered her livestock, and plot to murder her young son Telemachus to seize the crown. Guided by the strategic brilliance of the goddess Athena, Odysseus undergoes a profound spiritual and physical transformation, learning that true leadership requires patience, humility, and restraint, rather than just raw brute force. The outstanding audiobook experience breathes cinematic, pulse-pounding life into this ancient epic, using lyrical, rhythmic prose and dramatic pacing that transforms the classical text into a gripping, theatrical auditory journey that makes listeners feel every ounce of the spray of the ocean and the sting of the battle. As Odysseus finally returns to Ithaca disguised as a ragged, unassuming beggar to test the loyalty of his household, the narrative builds toward a spectacular, blood-soaked climax where the ultimate warrior reclaims his bow, unleashing a terrifying retributive storm of justice to slaughter the suitors and prove that no amount of divine wrath can conquer a man destined for his home and his family.